Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to Stellar J Studios, formerly known as the Rebookery channel. I am Gina, and I am so happy you are here today. We're going to look at a failure. One of my failures one among many, but this one, going into it, had high hopes, but I knew that it was going to probably turn into something I couldn't complete, something I couldn't finish, and sure enough, it did. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I tried to participate in the 100-day project. I think I got, I don't know, one day, maybe? I don't even know if I got one day. But here's the thing. Even though I wasn't able to do what I set out to do, which was 100 days of creating something, I did create every day. I just didn't do it in the format of the 100-day. And so if you're unfamiliar with the 100-day project, you can, you just search it, and there are tons of resources and links and things like that out there to find out some more about it. But basically, you commit to doing one small creative thing over and over and over for 100 days. So, all right, here was my idea. My idea was that I made these little books or booklets, I guess, because they're really, really small. So I made these little booklets, and each one of them had a theme. And my themes were, these were mini field guides. And my themes were that they were going to all be about, my love, my passion, science. So these are going to all be about science. And again, if you're new to this channel, I was a science teacher for 28 years. So I had a lot of science background and just science things that I thought were really, really cool. And I always like to document those. So I had set out to, I'm just now looking at my notes. I haven't gotten this out since I abandoned the project, which was, over 100 days ago. So it was going to be mini field guides. These were I had made 13 of these little booklets, and I'll show you those in a second. And then I had come up with names for each of them. And my goal was, what I had set out to do was that I was going to put something small in each one of these little field guides every day. And then these were what I used. I used glue, paper, found objects, oil pastels, acrylic paint, drawing in black. So I tried to keep these things consistent. So I tried to keep all my drawings in black, and then science words and pieces of books from science books and things like that. And I tried to keep my color palette similar-ish, so that they were kind of all cohesive. So my goals, I love this. Okay, I'm going to look at my goals because, again, this is where I failed. So practice collage, restraint. Oh, I was going to practice collage. I'm going to practice restraint because I tend to go overboard a lot. I was going to practice my drawing, my layering, my paint simply. So again, I go overboard, so I always try to scale it back. And I was going to practice my composition. Play. So explore how I can make connections between science and my favorite thoughts using color, shape, words, limited words, and texture. And then what I wanted to produce was 13 mini field guides. Well, I made the field guides. I just didn't complete them. What will I accomplish? I will cultivate a community. So again, if you're in the 100-day project, there's a community that you can join. And then there's just people on Instagram. There's people on YouTube that you can reach out to and discuss and collaborate and things like that. Consistency. Oh, okay. I wanted to accomplish consistency on Instagram and YouTube. Well, I didn't quite do that because this is my second video in 7 months. So yeah. And then I was hoping to accomplish a feeling of satisfaction as I pushed through hard times and completion of a project. Okay, cool. I mean, those are great things that I wanted to accomplish. And so then here's my plan. And yeah, evidently that's where it fell off. So good intentions, but it didn't quite pan out that way. So I made these little field guides, and they're just basic little paper field guides. And then I thought, okay, I need something to put them in. And lo and behold, I just happened to have this box. And I don't even know what this box was. I feel like, okay, because full disclosure here, I made this at school during my plan time. So yeah, I think this was a box that like some technology or something came in. I took pages from this science book that I was using. So then I just like glued the paper on there, and it's just like really hard. Oh my God, is that like luscious or what? Look at all the strings. So this was the first one. This is the one that started it off. So this was number 1, and this one was going to be about life. And so I actually think I did work in this one. These were some notes that I made for my kiddos in class, because this year I taught life science, and I just liked the notes. And so I had a copy of mine there because I was cleaning out all of my file cabinets and stuff. And so I thought, well, I'll just put those notes in. There's some images that I pulled. And I was trying to keep this limited to just very small word content, because I wanted the readers to like come up with their own idea of what this was about. And then this is a label. Oh my, look at this. I ended with this one. So this one, the name was Phenomena. So this was going to be anything that is wondrous, anything that we can't explain. You can see I did not finish these pages. I actually just got it set up. That's what my blank pages looked like when I did these journals. So they're all going to have this blank setup. Here's number 3. Ooh, I love this one. Okay, this one was cycles. And yeah. And I don't know that I did anything in this other than just set up the foundation. Yeah. So I made this. I love the color on this one. The brown and then the darker greens, some calendar pages. And so then this one was ready for me to add things to. Like the cover was done, but the pages, again, were what I considered blank. Book 4 was physics. Okay, again, look at this color palette. I just love it, love it, love it. And it just appeared, like it just happened. And I'm just, yeah. And then I'm just enamored with it. These were just markers, regular old watercolor markers or water-based markers. I think probably Crayola, because that's what I had in my classroom. Now, when I would play with these at school, I would then come home and add some fabric and stuff to it, because I didn't have fabric and stuff at school. But I would come home and I would do a little machine stitching and just kind of add a few little bits and bobs. I did have a little baggie with me that I had some papers and stuff in, but other than that, that was it. I didn't take like my whole entire studio with me. Now let's look at book 5. Throw those there. Okay, so book 5 was conservation. Ooh, I like that. And just notice that this, and I don't know if I had any idea that I was doing this, but notice conservation, and then I've got a piece of feed sack fabric right here on the cover, which is kind of cool because I like to conserve and save feed sacks and old vintage fabrics. Look at the colors. Look how that explodes. Ooh, I added some fancy trim. I got really fancy on this. But here's what makes these guys go together is that the foundations are the same. Because when I first started this, I started off with the same basic foundation, the same basic process. And so then that makes them all cohesive. That was number 5. Okay, number 6, chemistry. So again, I took some of my notes that I created. It was actually a sketch of some notes that I had made that I was going to turn into my lesson for the kids. And so I thought, rather than throw it away, I'm just going to tear it apart and put it in a journal. Now notice again, totally different color palette. Again, part of the notes. Ooh, I love 7. Okay. Again, completely different color palette. Now, I don't have the title for 7. Now look at this. This is part of the foundation. It was one of the very first things I did. Again, one of the very first things I did, but then from there I built up a lot of layers. This I used some Dick and Jane. Not a lot of science in this one, which kind of lends itself to me putting in lots of science as that top layer, but still a really cool foundation. And I love this piece of fabric right here. And I don't know why I didn't put the title on here. I must not have gotten to it yet. So that was 7. Here's 8. 8 was Unseen. Ooh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Yes, yes, all kinds of good stuff there. The background. Oh, okay, I had a piece of, ooh, that's interesting, a little rocket. So I had that piece of paper. I must have thought I was going to put that there. Oh, again, another, must have thought I was going to put that there. Very cool, totally different color palette. Look at that. That's burnt orange, the mustard yellow, the light green, and then that blue. I love how that all goes together. Nice. Okay, that was 8, or book 9. This one was energy, E equals MC squared. Kind of like a physics one, but you could let it be a little more loosely interpreted. I was, oh, there's the word energy. I was thinking more about how things move. I was thinking more about alternative energies, maybe some stuff on light energy and sound energy. That's kind of what I was thinking in this one. Ad Astra. Okay, so Ad Astra is well, of course it was a movie, but this is what, this is a saying that means to the stars. And in Kansas, there's a long story here, but basically this is where this originated, this saying, Ad Astra. So last year we took a trip out into the prairie of Kansas and just really, well, first of all, fell in love with the prairie, but really came across this over and over and over again. So I did a lot of research on it and, you know, found out the history of it. Well, I love space. And so this book was all about space. Here's my foundation. I threw down some images just to kind of get myself started when I was supposed to come to this journal and do what I was going to do, which we all know I did not. So yeah, I just have some things there to kind of help start when I was going to jump into this journal. This one must be 11, and I don't know where the number is. Yeah, so I must, again, I probably stopped and didn't go back and put the number on. Okay, so this one was nature, and I remember I worked on this cover a lot. I just couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do. This is paper that had been painted on and then I ripped up and put in here. Fabric again. Look at the color palette on this one. Very bright. Looks kind of like it'd be in a garden or outside someone's kitchen window. Number 12. This one was changes. This one would be, okay, first of all, color palette, love it. This one would be one where you could totally put anything, and my thought was I could totally put anything in here because everything is a change. And so this could be chemistry, this could be physics, this could be nature, this could be conservation, it could be anything that changes, which everything changes. Speaking of changes, here are the seasons. So this image right here was the seasons. This one is weather. Ooh, love, love, love this one. I had a lot of fabric on this one. So there's the front, there's the back. I tried really hard not to go ahead and get started and put too many images in here, although it was very hard because I love weather. And I had so many ideas of things I wanted to put in here, so I tried to hold back because, again, this is just the background. And then my intent was I was going to come back in and fill it with stuff that would lead you to think about weather. All right, so there they are. These are my field guides that I created for 3, 2, and 1. Here's my question. Do you want to know how I made them? Because I feel like I'd like to jump back in this and it not be the 100-day project, but it could just be a project, and we don't have to finish it. We don't have to. We can leave it just as it is. I'm thinking let's go on a journey together and let's make these. And they're not hard. These are probably the simplest journals I've ever made. From now until the next video, why don't you, if you want to join me on this journey, why don't you think about what would be your themes? So what do you want to do? What are you really, really passionate about? And you don't have to make 13 of these. I mean, we can make one and then you can decide how many you want. What are your goals? What would you like to accomplish? Do you just want to make something fun and pretty? That is awesome. Do you want to make a set of these that you want to give to friends as gifts? That is totally awesome too. And then kind of start thinking like, what kind of supplies do I want to use? Fabrics and images and things like that. What do I want to use to decorate these with? So look for a video for the second part of this next Monday. All right, my friends, I hope you are healthy. I hope you are happy, and I hope you do something creative today. Until next time, bye.